Welcome back, folks. Professor Almeida here, and in this video I want to show you how to use GMetrix SMS as of fall 2025. We use GMetrix exam software to practice for the MOS, or the Microsoft Office Specialist Certification Exam. Now, if you are interested in qualifying for the MOS, check the Canvas announcements for details. If you're taking me for COSA 25, Microsoft Access for Windows, or COSA 50, Intro to IT Concepts and Applications, GMetrix is actually part of your assignments in the course. Coming up, I'm going to show you how to get started with GMetrix and also how to turn in your score reports to Canvas. Before we get started, you'll need to create a free account in GMetrix. You'll need the access code that is on our Canvas class homepage. And then finally, you'll need to install the GMetrix SMS software on your Windows PC. I'll show you all of that. And if you need a break, you do have the pause button. So let's get started. Now, before we get into GMetrix, I want to show you what the assignment in Canvas looks like. This is for COSA 50. And then I also have one of the skill review assignments for COSA 25. Take a moment to review the instructions carefully and make sure that you are following directions. Now, I have my Windows 11 virtual machine up and running. And again, you do need to have a Windows PC in order to install GMetrix SMS. If you don't have a Windows PC, or if you cannot install GMetrix for whatever reason, you'll need to arrange to use another system or come to campus and use the COS computer labs. So to get started, you want to go to gmetrix.net, gmetrix.net, and this is what the GMetrix homepage looks like. Now, I don't have a whole lot of real estate here on my screen, so that's why it looks like this. You can create a free account, and once you're in, this is what the dashboard looks like. Now, first thing to do is redeem the access code that is on our Canvas class homepage. You can simply copy the access code there and paste it into this box. And once you do that, you'll have access to the practice exams. But before we get into the practice exams, you will need to install the software. And you should see a link to download GMetrix SMS. And here it is right here. Download SMS. And then you'll see GMetrix SMS for Windows. Download and run this installer, and that will install GMetrix SMS, which you will need for the MOS exams. Speaking of the MOS exams, if you are in COSA 50, you're going to start with Excel 365. That is MO-210. Later on in COSA 50, and also for those in COSA 25, as of fall 2025, we are still on Microsoft Office 2019 for Access. And you'll see here's Access MO-500. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and show you MO-500. So you can see that there's only one practice exam. COSA 25 and COSA 50 will be taking this exam here. And if you go further down, you'll see some skill review exams under quizzes. So for the COSA 25 folks, you will take Skill Review 1 and Skill Review 2. This is where you will find them. Going back to Excel, again, it's Excel 365. This is for the COSA 50 folks. You'll see that you have a choice of 3 different practice exams. Be sure to carefully read the instructions. Again, depending on whether you're in COSA 50 or COSA 25. In both classes for Access, we are using Office 2019. And then again, for COSA 50, you are practicing with Excel 365, not Excel 2019. To get started, you can go ahead and choose Start. I will go ahead and begin with Excel 365 Practice Exam 1. And you'll see that right away, by default, you are in testing mode. Now with testing mode, just like with the real MOS, you will have 50 minutes to complete a number of different projects. The projects are very similar to what you have been doing in class. Passing is 700 out of 1,000. Now for the purpose of the GMetrix assignments that you see here, I'm only looking for passing scores in training mode. So what you need to do here is switch over to training mode. And with that, there is no time limit. Plus, if you get stuck on certain tasks, you can always get help. Now for my COSA 50 folks, we've only covered 3 chapters of Excel and Access, and this is where we fill in the gaps. COSA 25 folks, hopefully this is going to be review for you. So once you're ready, you can go ahead and start the exam. Now, if you are going for the MOS, I recommend starting out in training mode so that you get a feel for the exam. And then once you are ready, switch over to testing mode and see how you do. I strongly recommend that you consistently score above 800 in testing mode. Now, if you want to go for the added bonus, again, check your assignment. You will need to score 850 or better. Check your assignment instructions for specifics. Okay. Go ahead and check the box and click open if you see that in your browser window. And now GMetrix SMS is going to launch. Give it a few moments for the software to launch. And you can see that GMetrix SMS is launching. When you see this dialog box pop up, click Start to download the test resources, and then you'll click Continue. And you can see that GMetrix SMS is prepping your exam session. All right, so this is what your practice exam looks like in GMetrix. Now for COSA 25 folks, your skill review exams will look a bit different, but we'll use Excel 365 as an example here. You'll see that you have 7 projects, and because we are in training mode, we don't have a timer for 50 minutes. Instead, we have this stopwatch instead. Now, if you need help with getting around in GMetrix, be sure to take a look at your GMetrix dashboard on how to get help. One other disclaimer I have for you: I have zero control over the GMetrix software, and this also includes time limits. Keep in mind, however, that you can take these exams as many times as you want. But again, I don't have control over the GMetrix software. If you run into issues, reach out to GMetrix support or arrange to use another system. And as a last resort, contact COS tech support. But again, I don't have any control over the GMetrix software. All right, let's go ahead and take a tour of the exam. We'll answer one of the tasks and I'll show you how to get through the exam. If you need a break, you do have the pause button. All right, let's take a look here. So you can see the overview for beach rentals, and I don't have a whole lot of real estate here, so let me scroll up a bit. You manage a rental shop at a popular public beach. It is your responsibility to update the list of rental rates. You'll see for this project, you have 5 tasks. Again, it's very similar to what you have been doing with your projects in class. If you want to skip around, you can click on Summary, and this will show you an overview of your exam session. Right now, I'm on the first project, but if you have been working on your exam, you can jump around to the other projects. So I'll go ahead and cancel out of this. If you need to restart your project from scratch, you could choose Restart Project. Keep in mind, whatever tasks you've been working on with this project will be reset as well. So anything that you've marked completed or for review, go back and check those tasks. If you need to take a break, you can save the project and then come back to it, come back to the test later. Keep in mind, however, that when you relaunch your exam, you might have lost the task that you have completed. So again, go back and double check. And then finally, when you're ready to move on to the next project, you'll choose grade project. By the way, with the real MOS, it's very similar. Once you complete a task, you can mark it as complete. This is just for yourself to keep track of. And if you're not sure what you're doing, you can mark for review and come back to it. Piece of advice, if you get stuck on a certain task, just mark for review and come back to it later. Don't spend so much time getting hung up on a task, especially when you go for the actual MOS. Remember, with the real MOS, you only get 50 minutes. So if you're not sure about something, just mark it for review and come back to it if there's time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this task. Import the data from the source file morerentals.xml located in the GMetrix templates folder. Load the diving rentals data to a new worksheet, accept all other defaults. And so if I scroll this all the way down, you'll see we're in the surf rentals worksheet. But if you're in COSA 50, you're probably wondering how to do this because we never really went over it. Again, this is where we fill in the gaps. Remember, in COSA 50, we only covered 3 chapters of Excel. And if you are working on an Access exam, again, in COSA 50, we only covered 3 chapters. COSA 25, folks, I hope this is review. All right, so let's see how to get help if we're stuck on a task. If you click on this help button, it reveals step-by-step instructions on what to do. Now, you don't want to keep relying on the help button because if you do, you might want to take notes. Try to get through the exam without using help, but again, the help is there if you need it. Just keep in mind though, if you are in testing mode, you won't have this opportunity to get help. All right, let's go ahead and complete this task. Click on the Data tab, and in the Get and Transform Data group, click Get Data, then select from File, and then from XML. Okay, now in the Import Data dialog box, browse to the GMetrix templates folder. Well, what if the GMetrix templates folder doesn't show up for you? This is a common issue with Windows 11, so here's how to get around this. Go to this PC in the navigation pane, and then go to your C drive, users, find your student ID or your username, and then from there, go into documents, and here's the GMetrix templates folder. What I would also do while we're here is right-click on GMetrix templates, and you want to pin it to quick access. And by doing that, GMetrix templates will always be there. Let's go into GMetrix templates, and then there's more rentals. Again, you might not have the real estate like I don't here, so you might have to scroll as needed. All right, we'll select more rentals and click on Import. Step 5, in the Navigator pop-up window, select Diving Rentals. So again, step 5, in the Navigator pop-up window, select Diving Rentals. At the bottom of the pop-up window, click the drop-down next to Load and click Load To. Well, what if you can't get to the button at the bottom? Fortunately for us, we can still right-click and then choose Load To. So you might run into these issues while you're working on your GMetrix exam. That's why I'm showing you this. Now, with the Import Data dialog box, or the pop-up window, below the Where do you want to put the data section, select New Worksheet. And then from there, click OK. Now that we have completed this task, I can go ahead and mark completed. And then I'll go ahead and turn off the help. So you can see there's that check mark. And again, mark completed, that's just for me. If you're not sure, you can mark for review and come back to it. As I mentioned before, don't spend so much time on something you're not familiar with. Try to get through the exam as quickly as possible and then see how you do at the end. Now, when you're ready to grade, I'll show you how to do that. Obviously, we haven't done tasks 2 through 5, so they'll be marked wrong. Click on Grade Project, and this is what happens. So you can see that we did task 1 correctly here. However, tasks 2 through 5 are marked wrong because I didn't do tasks 2 through 5. I can choose to retry this project or move on to the next one. So I hope that this makes sense and helps you out. Now, let's say that I want to quit out of the exam and work on it later. Here's what to do. Click on Save Project, save and exit the test, and you have a choice to choose local or cloud. It doesn't really matter. I'll choose local because you'll be able to resume the exam anyway. And remember, once you choose to resume the exam, go back and check the tasks that you have worked on just to make sure that those tasks weren't reset. And you can see here, resume test when you are ready. Now, I want to show you how to turn in your exam results. So I'll use Excel 365 as an example. If you are taking the Access exams, it's pretty much the same concept. Again, check your assignment instructions for details. So I'll click on Excel 365, and let's say I want to turn in the Excel 365 practice exam. I will click on this 3-dot menu here and choose Score Report. It'll take a moment for the score report to load. I will scroll on down, and here's my score report. Click on the print button to the right of your results. And this is what you should see. Here you should have your name, the exam you took, your score, not to brag, but I did manage to finish this training with 1,000, and then the timestamp. Under printer, you want to choose Save as PDF. Now this is true for Edge, Chrome, and other Chromium-based browsers, but if you're using another web browser, you might see Microsoft Print to PDF. Either way, you want to print to PDF. If you're not sure how to do this, if you go back to the assignment instructions, you'll see this link on how to change your printer to PDF. So be sure to take a look. So I'll go ahead and save this. Choose a location where to save your PDF file, and then we'll go ahead and submit it to Canvas. Now I want to show you how to turn in your score report to your GMetrix assignments in Canvas. So as you can see, I've already downloaded my score report. Let me switch on over to Canvas here, and here's how to turn in your score report. Click on the red Start Assignment button. And then you can see right here, you can drag your score report into this box or choose a file to upload. So let me go ahead and get my score report. And I'll go ahead and drag this in. So just like that, I'm ready to submit my assignment. Now, what if you don't pass, right? Earlier I said that 700 is passing. And again, I'm only looking for 700 or better in training mode. If you don't pass, turn in your score report anyway. You can keep resubmitting right up until the due date, or once you've crossed 700, then you're good to go. You'll receive full credit. Again, check the assignment instructions for details. So with that, I hope that this video has helped you out. And again, if you are interested in qualifying for the MOS exam, check the announcements in Canvas for details. And with that, I wish you the best of luck, both with GMetrix and going for the MOS. Check out the syllabus for more information about the MOS and if there are any special deals. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.